Hello friends and welcome back to TierTyrant. Today we'll be looking at part 2 of the Overwatch ranking by Dateability, and this time we have the women in Overwatch plus Venture, who is a they them. So let's just, start with the basics real quickly. We've got the normal tier list from S to F tier, S being the very best, A being good, B being okay to alright, C being basic, D being a bit on the bad side, F being bad choices. Additionally, we also got the yes tier at the top for the best of the best, and the no tier at the bottom, which is for characters that are too young or just look too young, where it's like the trope of like it's a 1,000-year-old character but looks like a child. In Overwatch here, with the females in the no tier, I have put Orisa and Echo. They aren't human, but their official ages are sub 18, so we'll be keeping them here. And as the next youngest person is 19, the rest are alright to place in the rest, so let's just get into it. We'll be going off by alphabet, so we'll be starting at Anna and going all the way over to Zarya. First, Anna, as said, she's a bit on the older side. She's nice, caring, she's the basic healer trope, I would say. Got some trauma because of the whole eye situation with Widowmaker shooting it out. Other than that, she'd be a good partner. I feel like if you have children, you met her when you both were younger, she'd take good care of them, make some cookies, grandma vibes. I think she'd get an A tier, maybe a bit too boring for some people. Rather sit there sitting tea at home than to do something exciting. Like, I can't imagine her like wanting to go on a walk or to an amusement park, so we'll just put her an A. Good choice, not the best. Next we got Ash. She's similar to Cassidy in the video where we ranked the man. As in, she's a good partner, I feel like. She'd be very protective, but she'd also be a big flirt, especially with other people. So if you're rather easily jealous, like I am, I would say, I don't think she'd be the best choice. But I mean, you'd definitely be well protected, she'd be a real romantic, that kind of stuff. I feel like she's a bit more on the criminal side than Cassidy, so there's a bit more danger to you. So I would put her low A tier to high B tier. I think we'll put her low A tier, because I think we put Cassidy also like in low S. Next, Brigitte. She's Torbjorn's daughter or grandchild. I'm not sure. I think it was daughter. We'll just stick with daughter. I think she'd be a good partner, She likes cats, she's got one, so she's good at taking care of things, like children, possibly. She's protective, with her shield. She'd probably have a bit more of an exciting lifestyle, like go out with you, stuff that Anna wouldn't. She'd craft you some things, spend a lot of time at her workshop, but I feel like that's fine. Plus Reinhardt's like her, what's it called? Her idol. So she'd be chivalrous, like a knight. She's a solid S tier, I would say. Maybe even high S. But yeah, I think S tier is good. Next we got Eva. She's kind of like Lucy in the last video, She's a good partner, a bit more childish. She's also famous, so you'd definitely be a bit more in the spotlight. And she does spend a lot of her time in front of like her PC gaming. So I mean, maybe there's some games you can play with her, but I feel like she's more of a, solo gamer or playing with randoms on the internet and having like a stable group of people she plays with. And I don't know, it's more like a teenage relationship, even though she is older. I think we'd give her a solid B tier. Like, she's not a bad choice, but also not the best one. Next we got Illari. I mean, she killed kinda a lot of people, from what I'm aware of in her lore, and she discovered her power. So there's also a bit of trauma going on there. I mean, other than that, you know, she seems like a good partner. Also not that much excitement, but I feel like it'd be a really, like, stable relationship. Like, she knows what she wants, and if you're together with her, like, you are what she wants. So I think she just gets a solid A tier, I would say. I don't know too much about her to like place her any higher, but other than killing a lot of people, which she didn't mean to do, there's also not too many bad things about her. Next we have Kiriko. Yeah, that's a D or C tier, I'd say. Similar vibe to Junkrat and Roadhog. I feel like you'd always be in danger, maybe lose a limb. I feel like she'd maybe even hurt you in an accident. I feel like she's really strong. She'd pick you up, but at the same time squeeze too hard or something. I don't think she'd be horrible, but I can't see her being that good of a partner, if I'm being honest. And the other ones are really solid choices, so I feel like they'll be filling up AV tier a lot. So I think we put her low C, maybe even high. We put her low C for now. Maybe she moves down a bit further later on if we have too many people in C. Next on the list we have Juno. She was, I think, the youngest. I think she was 19. So it's gonna be a bit more similar with Diva, where she's a bit more childish. I'm just going off like the vibe she gives. I'm not too familiar with her lore. Most other people I know well because I played Overwatch for a long time, but she's a bit more on the fence. Yeah, I think she gives a vibe similar to Diva. I feel like it will be a solid relationship, but more of like a teenage romance kind of thing. Probably not too long lasting. So if you really just want a really short-term relationship, I feel like she'd probably be really good. If we're like having dateability, which, you know, it doesn't mean married till death, but definitely more long-term, I would say. So yeah, she's a solid B tier. Then we have Kiriko. I mean, her lore is complicated with them like storing up with the ages with like Genji and Hanzo. But other than that, like in her lore trailer, like cinematic trailer, you know, she helped people. She was nice. Bit of a moody teen, kinda too. But other than that, I think she'd be a really good partner at put her like S to high A. She's a bit more on the like a, what's it called, snarky side, I believe. She's a bit more stubborn. But other than that, she'd be. I think I'll give her like a high T, maybe above Anna, I think. Yeah, really high A to S tier. You can move her up there if you want to. Next we have Mei. I mean, Mei's got a traumatic backstory. All of her colleagues dying, or having to escape the Arctic all alone. Bit of trauma, but I feel like out of the people, she's one of the ones that's best at handling her trauma. You know, she's really sweet. Not too much excitement. Yeah, I think you can't really go wrong with me. I don't think there's any flaws, like she's sweet, you know. It's got a little robot guy. If he likes you, she'll like you, you know, it's kind of like a you have to befriend their pet situation. Just in this case, it's more like a bird, I guess, because it can fly. You know, I think May's possibly our first yes tier. I don't see anything wrong with her. I mean, maybe in-game when you play against her, she annoys you, but like, that's good. If you're dating, she's on your side, right? Worst case scenario, you'll raise a knight if she's more cold-blooded, but that's fine. Mercy. I think Mercy is like another... Actually, I don't know if we could put her in yes tier. Like, Mercy's a really nice character. Like, she's a healer, she'll take care of you. There's no flaws in her, other than possibly, you know, the thing she has going on with Genji. Like, even if we say he doesn't exist, like, they've been going like on and off, you know, like they're not in a relationship, but it's definitely like they're not giving each other clear signs, like doing the next step, and like they're not the youngest anymore. So I feel like she's a bit uncommitted. Like, she'd pull you along for a long time, where it's like you think you're close to getting into one, but she'd never actually like say yes, keep all her options open. So I think she's definitely like with Brigitte up here. I think like not the high S tier, but like more of a basic S tier, because I think that kind of pulls her down. Like, she'd be a good partner if you really get into it, but just getting into that would be hard. I don't think she'd be the best at rejecting people if they gift her something where it's like, oh, that's for you, I thought of you, and she'd be like, oh, thank you, that's so sweet. You wouldn't be like, oh, thanks, but like, I got a partner. She'd just accept the gift, not really giving them a sign to back off, because she'd be too nice for that. So, you know, solid S tier. Bit of, like, definitely on the higher side of S, but not that high. Yeah, Moira's F. Like, she may love you, but I feel like her type of love is making you her next lab rat, like experimenting on you. You'll turn out something like a Reaper, maybe worse, maybe a bit better. And if you complain, she's just gonna be like, oh, I'm just doing it for you, I'm making you better, I'm helping you. Yeah, she's not a good idea, not a good option. I think F tier is a good place for her. Yeah, she stays there. Pharah. I mean, you know, mother like daughter, I think she'd be a solid partner, but compared to all the people here that we have placed so far, I think she's the most like immersed in her duty. So she'd just stay away from home. Like, she'd be off at work constantly, helping people. I feel like she'd have little time to you. I think it's a similar situation as Brimstone from Valorant, where she's like, yeah, I mean, I said, rarely at home, mostly at work. Like, she'd be there, and when she's there, she'd be a solid partner, like mid A tier, I would say, because there's not really too many dates that would warrant S tier. But her being away for so long, putting herself in danger, I think that goes more into B tier, maybe even lower B tier, if you like especially like quality time with your partner, which, you know, I definitely do. So I think she gets a low B tier because of all her work commitment. Other than that, she'd be higher. Next, you got Sojourn. Yeah, I mean, she's lost a few limbs, but other than that, she seems solid. Also, work committed. But at the same time, she gives up the vibe that she'd be a nice partner. Like, you could spend a nice amount of time with her still, go on some dates. I feel like she'd be one of the more romantic ones, to be honest, like setting up the dates, etc. So I think she's another one of these people I would put to like mid to higher A tier, but that's just because I don't know 100% of like her lore and everything. Plus with the losing limbs, there's also a bit of trauma. But she just gives the vibe of being like a really good partner. So I think she deserves like basic A tier. Next we have Sombra on the list. She is a bit on the harder side. Like, she'd be a good partner. Like, she'd get you stuff, she'd shower you in gifts. But I feel like she'd also be away for a bit longer. You'd be in danger and she'd be controlling. Like, all your devices, all your mobile devices, PC, etc., everything would be monitored. Even the ones of your like close friends. She'd check all your messages, call history. I feel like she'd be a bit more jealous because she has the means to. She's able to check. So she does check. You know, if you got nothing to hide, which you know, that's the way it's supposed to be. You shouldn't really have to hide anything from your partner other than if it's like a surprise gift or something. Like, it's not too bad. But like just the constant monitoring, probably get like calls every 5 seconds. Where are you? Why are you there? I think that makes her a bit lower. I don't know why she gives off the vibe, she just does. Other than that, I feel like she'd also be a good partner. But I think that moves her to like a basic to higher C tier. But you know, I think this is the time I talked about where we maybe move Junker Queen down to D. Because Sombra, I don't think she deserves to be in B with like these people. But she's definitely better than Junker Queen. She thinks she's like a high, almost B person. But you know, as said, a bit too controlling. To the point where maybe she'd even break up with you. So I think C tier is good. Next we have Symmetra. I think Symmetra is like also similar to Sombra. Like C to higher B tier. Reason for that would be she'd probably be a good partner. Like you'd go out to eat more often to like a nice diner. Not like the fancy one, but like, you know, nicer ones where you dress up a bit. But she's a bit too orderly. She wants too much control. Like you put something down in your house, but like a millimeter left to where she wants it, and she'd probably like fix it, maybe complain a bit. But yeah, other than that, she'd be good also. Work focused, but very controlling, because she wants everything to be perfect. I mean, like I said, with the dates, etc., she'd be good, but that's like the controlling thingy would just be a pet peeve of mine, which, you know, don't forget, C isn't bad. C is still on the good side, but just on the okay side. So like, basic. B is like good, C is just basic, so like you wouldn't go wrong with them, but they wouldn't be the better options, or like the best options. So yeah, I think C is fine for her. Next we have Tracer. I mean, Tracer's got a girlfriend. We just say she doesn't exist. I think from what I've seen on like TikTok, etc. in comics, I think they had some arguments here and there, a bit of trouble. Could be wrong, to be honest. Could also be like headcanons of people like fan-made comics, etc. I think it was official. But I think she'd be a good partner, a bit too hyper. But I feel like she'd definitely take their relationship more serious than like Diva or Juno. So I think we could put Tracer, because her relationship seems to be going rather well. I feel like a low S tier. I think she's better than an A tier, but still low S, because, you know, lots of work focus. But she'd be a good partner, even if she's hyper. Like, you wouldn't have that many calm days with her, but definitely more fun ones. So I think she's gonna go into a low S tier. Next we got Venture. Just had to have a quick read through the wiki page on their lore. Venture is always happy, smile on their face. Is an archaeologist. So goes around the world digging up artifacts, never really in one place. So I think that's also similar to the people in B tier. Ventures would be a nice partner, as said, but they're not settling down, traveling around. Personally, not for me. I'd rather settle down somewhere in a house. I couldn't stand in one place at a time. So if you wouldn't want to like go around the world with them, you would be at home alone for longer than with Pharah, I believe, because it would just be like months of like going to a new site. But other than that, they are a really solid option. If you don't mind traveling around, you could definitely put them higher, like I would say A tier, you know, maybe even S tier. It's just a traveling around thing that gets to me. But yeah, I think Venture's a solid B tier, if we have to take that into consideration. Next we have Widowmaker. She killed her husband. Wasn't really her fault, considering the whole brainwashing by Talon thing. We'll just say, for the sake of this tier list, that she got more emotion back other than just from killing people. And you may actually kinda start dating her. I feel like it wouldn't be that she got that much back, like a tiny bit only. So it would probably place her similar to Junker Queen and Moira. Maybe more Junker Queen, a bit lower. Because she'd have like slight feelings for you when you get into a relationship. Maybe you give her that slight bit of excitement like killing does. But it wouldn't be enough for like a full relationship where you do stuff together. Like you just sometimes come by for like that quick boost of emotion. But it wouldn't be a real relationship. It'd be better than Moira, like she wouldn't experiment on you. But at the same time, there's a chance that if she really got the command to like kill you, she would possibly kill you. But she's also hot, so I think that gives her the boost from like high F to like low D. So, I mean, if you manage to get into a relationship with her, just expect to be like, not even friends, like acquaintances, I'd say. Lastly, we got Zarya. I mean, strong woman, if you like that. Go ahead, go up there with her. I mean, I personally don't mind it if they're a bit more beefy than me, got some nice arms. There's not really any flaws I know with her. Like, she also seems like really optimistic each time I've heard one of her voice lines. She's also a protector with her shield. She'd take you on a vacation to Russia and wherever. I feel like she's a solid option. I can't really think of any flaw with her, if I'm being honest. Maybe you know one. Personally, I'm not really... Yeah, I don't think I can think of one right now. So I think we put her in S tier. Yes tier. I think lower than May. Like slightly lower. Not much lower, but it's like almost S. But I think we'll just put her there. You know, it's like with Reinhardt, she's also like a chivalrous. I think that's a solid place here. So, having one final look, I think I am pretty happy with the tier list. I mean, there were some people I was more critical on, especially like on C tier, because it was just like tiny pet peeves I had for like the low B tier. So you can definitely move them if you don't mind the stuff, like the being away for longer because of like work, or just being more on the controlling side. Like if you're a perfectionist too, for example, Symmetra's probably would be like yes tier for you. But I think this is my tier list. I'm pretty happy with that. You know, when new people come out in the future, or my opinion changes drastically, maybe I'll redo it, bring in some of the recommendations from the comments. So like, if you would have placed anyone differently, please let me know. I'd love to hear about like your reasoning, if I was like too critical on someone, or if I was too nice, if there's like a big flaw in one of the people. But yeah, that's the playlist overall, so I guess thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to watch the version with the men if you haven't yet. And I'll see you next time, hopefully. Bye bye!